Did you guys see that they found bed bugs at 6 hotels on the Strip over the last 2 years? We're hanging out today with Elle Hope and David Figler. I'm curious, how long would it take you to have to wait to go stay at one of those properties if you found out it had bed bugs?
Honestly, I probably would never go to those properties if I found that out because the question is, what else is happening within those rooms? Like, what does the cleaning process look like? Sanitization? Yeah, they'd have to come out with like a clean report. Like, all right, guys, we burned all our mattresses. We have all new cleaning staff. It's all clear to go for me to come back.
Yeah. Elle Hope, the founder of Spotlight Poetry, saying, nah, hard no in a big way. I don't blame you one bit. I would want everything burned, that's for sure. David Figler, criminal defense attorney. How would you defend these hotels with bed bugs?
Well, first thing I do is offer all locals free parking, because it always goes back to free parking.
That's good.
I think if, there was a bed bug infestation, or at least if they were found, that it would be pretty quick that they would gather up all their resources to eradicate it, because that's their lifeblood. So I would feel pretty comfortable going back fairly quick. But I would love it if they would also waive resort fees and issue me a black light just in cases.
That's a good deal. That's good.
Although your room and a black light comes with it. Oh, God.
Well, be careful what you ask for with a black light in a Las Vegas hotel room.
Yeah.
So, but
that might
still
open up a whole nother can of worms that I think might scare even more people away. I don't know about that one.
All sorts of cans, Jesse. But I would want that at least. Yeah, I want to check. Yeah. I'm willing to go there.
I would imagine. Yeah, it's very interesting. Just so everybody knows out there, too, the hotels that did have confirmed cases were Caesar's Palace, the Bellagio, Cosmopolitan, the Strat, Resorts World, and Horseshoe Las Vegas. I was a bit surprised about the Bellagio, the Cosmopolitan, and Caesar's Palace. I won't lie about that one. Yeah, kind of interesting to see some of those ones in the mix.
Wow, what shade you just threw on the Horseshoe, Jesse.
Hey, yeah, I mean, no offense to the folks over at the Horseshoe, but not as surprised to hear that about Caesars and the Bellagio, just saying. Speaking of bed bugs, that's not all we're talking about today. We're going to talk about a lot of other things today here on the show, including previewing President Trump's visit to Vegas and CCSD's new transportation assistance program. And we're also debuting a new segment and diving into our Vegas fixation of the week. It's Tuesday, August 4th. I'm Jesse Merrick, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. All right, David, President Trump is coming back to Vegas. Give us the deets on what we're thinking he's going to be talking about.
Who the hell knows at this point, man?
He could go off script. He's known for that, yeah.
Yeah, I've watched enough of these presidential speeches to know that it could go in a million different directions, and the only thing I'm sure of is that it will go very long. So, ostensibly, he's on a bit of a tour. I would imagine a lot of people think it's in support of the midterms because the writing on the wall does not look good for his party, and he wants to keep them in power, of course. So he's visiting different spots across the country, and he picked Las Vegas to tout all his economic successes that are tied to the big, beautiful bill that was imposed upon us. But specifically, I think he picked Nevada and Las Vegas in particular because of the one provision that got a lot of attention, which was the no tax on tips.
Yeah, so a lot of folks paying attention to that one.
Yeah, and, we are a big tip economy, and so I think he's going to tout, potentially without a lot of evidence, that this has been a wonderful, beautiful thing for all the gig workers and tip workers in Las Vegas. Of course, this isn't like a debate, so there's not going to be any counterpoint. But I think that's going to be the heart of it, is that he's going to say, look, my economic policies, despite what you might be seeing at the gas station or at the grocery store or in your own personal paychecks or et cetera, I'm doing a great job for you. And he's going to try to make his case. One interesting thing, Jesse, is that they announced that this speech will be given at Red Rock Resort, which notoriously is a non-union property, one that is in the sights of the culinary union for a really long time. So, economy and wages, that's their big issue too. So that's also a very interesting kind of throwdown.
Yeah, I wonder how much that was factored into the choice on that one. I'm curious, as we kind of dove into it, and David mentioned it there, point counterpoint on the no tax on tips thing. I don't have a lot of friends that are in the service industry, so I don't have a great view on this one, but I'm curious if you do, or people that are in there that have like seen an impact, good, bad, whatever it is, from the no tax on tips. Like, has it been significant?
Unfortunately, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't have too many friends that work in hospitality that way. But it is interesting to see what this, gloating tour, President Trump is on right now, and how the no tax on tips truly is affecting Nevadans today, because I feel like I haven't heard much about it. I feel like I haven't seen on social media that much people gloating about how much more money they're taking home right now, given that, these hard economic times, everyone's penny pinching. And I'm also curious to see too, this no tax on tips, this isn't permanent legislation. Correct me if I'm wrong, David, but I think this is only lasting until 2028. So for him to go around, promoting it as Vegas being the birthplace of this idea is cool, but it's like, okay, but what is our long-term future with this? And how is this actually benefiting hospitality workers? Because personally, I haven't seen any results.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I was getting ready for the show, I was like looking around trying to get some info on it. And it's kind of hard to find. From the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, they're claiming that only about 3% of households receive the deduction for tipped income. I thought that was kind of crazy that it's that small. David, have you had any experience with it? Do you know folks who've kind of dealt with it, and has it impacted them? Or are you kind of in the same boat as us, where it seems like maybe the impact or people that are feeling it are kind of hard to find?
I do know a lot of people in the hospitality business and a lot of folks who rely on tips. It's interesting, Jesse. The Review Journal recently came out with an article that talked about how tipping in Nevada, and this shocked me, is amongst some of the lowest in the United States. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was really interesting. And I think that the RJ, which, famously supported President Trump multiple times when he was running for election, I think that they were putting that out as being a positive for the no tax on tips. But they also indicated in that same story that some of the other policies of the Big Beautiful Bill has caused a decline of visitors to Las Vegas, which means that there are not just lower tips, but less tips happening. And so, I would be really interested if there was this bigger analysis of, the pros and cons of the Big Beautiful Bill on how much money is actually getting into tipped employees' pockets. It may very well be a wash. It may be a negative, possibly a positive. I don't know. One of the other parts of the Big Beautiful Bill affected. And, it's funny, Jesse, a lot of the people I know in hospitality are also gamblers. And there's that phantom gambling tax that Representative Dina Titus has been fighting about, where people are getting taxed more on their gambling winnings than ever before. So, that Big Beautiful Bill has a lot of big, beautiful contradictions in it. And it'll be interesting to see how it gets spun into a full, cogent positive in that speech.
Yeah, it will be. As you're talking, I was kind of like ruminating on like the fact that we're like low on the lower end of tipping and stuff. I wonder, just because like being an international city, it's not necessarily something they do over in Europe and stuff.
Yeah,
maybe
that was one of the points they made. Yeah, that's really insightful.
So then I guess like the discussion around this whole thing maybe is like, okay, yes, let's say, a decent amount of people maybe were impacted by this, but then also the cost of living, I think you alluded to it, has gone up so much. Does it almost kind of feel like things are balanced out, or you're still kind of in the red because it doesn't seem like it's that big of an impact?
Yeah, it definitely gives the impression of like, oh my goodness, I see you're drowning out there. Here's this rubber ducky. This should help you just a little bit float.
Yeah, or one floaty.
One arm floaty. You don't get two, just one.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like that. And then I guess to kind of drive it forward now, this is something that obviously could play a part in terms of our, governor's race and everything like that. David, you noted the Republican Party maybe not having the best favor nationally and things like that. So Trump trying to do some damage control. Do we think Lombardo shows up to this one? Because it seems like he's tried to distance himself from Trump.
Man, he's damned if he do and he damned if he don't. If he shows up,
it's a tough spot.
You're already going to see all the ads. If he doesn't show up, you could see all the ads. There's a lot that Lombardo will probably have to answer for it. We talked about before how he made that comment that he has a close relationship with the commander-in-chief, meaning Trump, and that has helped Nevada.
Commanding officer, I think was the phrasing, yeah.
But, we see, like, for example, like our water allocation for the Colorado River, we're not, it doesn't sound like a friend treating us well,
It doesn't. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah. Like pick and choose where he's your friend, I guess, right?
And so, I don't know what Lombardo's mental process is. I know that other candidates have already jumped in, like Marty O'Donnell. He's running for Congress against Susie Lee. He is absolutely happy and proud to show up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes out and who doesn't for Trump from the Republican Party locally.
All right, let's keep it moving now and dive into CCSD offering some transportation assistance. Elle, what exactly is going on there?
Yeah, so this could be some exciting news for parents who have students enrolled in a Clark County school. It recently was announced that the Clark County School District has launched a transportation reimbursement program that provides eligible families with up to $1,000 to help cover the costs of getting students to higher performing schools through the district's open enrollment program. So the goal behind this is to reduce transportation as a barrier for school choice. The district basically wants parents and students to be more open to their options and alleviate transportation as something that's stopping them from attending schools that they feel like their kids need. So who qualifies for this? Basically, any student who is currently zoned in a 1 or 2-star school. They must enroll in a 3, 4, or 5-star school, and families have to demonstrate financial need and meet the attendance requirements. So that's kind of like the catch in all this. Students can't miss more than 10 days a semester, or the family could lose the reimbursement. This money was given through a grant funding program that the state granted through, I think, Assembly Bill 533. And they passed it last year. So that's also another catch with this, is that this funding is only going to last a year. And it's not $1,000 per semester. It's $1,000 for the entire school year. So
thanks for that clarification. We were wondering.
Of course. Because I was wondering that too. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, $2,000 a year would be pretty good. Yeah.
It would be really good.
But it's probably better than the no tax on tips that people are getting, I would imagine.
honestly, actually, clock it. So it's going to be split into 2 separate payments. So $500 per semester. And the reactions from parents have been mixed from this. A lot of people are excited, right? They're welcoming this opportunity. Others, however, are questioning whether $1,000 is truly enough to cover the daily commute that add up over the course of the year. So,
and that's the question I have. Like, I want to bring David in on this one because I'm curious. Do you think $1,000 is enough? Like, or does this kind of feel like a bit of a half measure there? Like we talked about it. $2,000 seems pretty damn good. $1,000? I don't know. What do you think?
I guess I just want to start by saying it deeply saddens me that the same school district has both 1-star and 5-star schools in it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because that's kind of crazy. It pits the schools against each other even more now.
Well, not only that, but that, depending on where your parents can afford to live is what quality of education you might be receiving in Clark County School District. Look, this is a priority like so many others. We got to keep kids. We have to be able to transport them to the school that they are supposed to go to. We have to keep them fed. We have to keep them safe. But also we have to give them a good education. And, the buried lead, I guess, in this whole conversation is are we doing enough for the 1 and 2 stars while we're allocating funds for transportation? Okay, I know that's not the topic. I just
let's dig into that though, because that's an important one to get into. We'll get back to the $1,000 thing here because I think this is important to kind of differentiate between what this means for the 1 and 2 star schools, and also too, this all sounds great, but there has to be a spot open at these 3, 4, and 5 star schools.
Right.
They're already having issues with, being able to fit kids in and things like that. So this almost does feel like a case where okay, yeah, you can want to go to one of these schools, but you might not be able to get in anyway. So that's a whole convoluted way to kind of try and wrap your head around it all. So what does it mean, I guess, for the 1 and 2 star schools? What's your take on that?
As reading through this article, I was really interested to see, we're getting funding for transportation to other schools, but why can't we get that funding to go towards the 1 and 2 star schools so they can be elevated in ranking? It
then
kind of makes more sense.
You wouldn't have to gain the transportation costs to go to the other schools and things like that, reinvest in the schools.
Exactly. I was sitting with the question of should families have to leave their neighborhood schools to access just quality education? Or, should we just prioritize the local neighborhood schools and help them become a top performing school? I'm kind of confused behind the mission of this. It feels like CCSD is taking one step forward, but two steps back.
Agreed.
Because I know there were statistics recently dropped that CCSD is facing lower enrollment numbers. So, what does that look like for the 1-2 star schools? If you're moving students away from, their facilities, what is going to happen to the teachers who have jobs there? What's going to happen to the extracurricular programs? Because, you need students to get funding. So there's a lot more questions I have coming from this. And it's not even just, $1,000. Is that enough? I'm curious to know what's going to happen to the funding long term for these other schools.
Jesse, you used the word convoluted. It is convoluted, but the Clark County School District is complicated as well. I don't want to discount the fact that there are magnet schools in the mix, and some students, deserve and also are well served by going to some of these magnet schools, and they may not be in the neighborhood. And absolutely, we should make sure that there is a safe and affordable way for them to get to school on time. So to the extent that, this $1,000 voucher, whatever it is, for qualified individuals is in place, I applaud it. I think that is a good idea. But yeah, sometimes it seems like we focus on the little hot spots and the flare-ups or the little policies and aren't always talking about the more, let's just say, holistic approach to our very, very large school district and its very, very long history of challenges.
It feels almost like as you were talking, I was thinking about the Vegas Vacation when, Chevy Chase is like trying to plug the holes in the dam, with the, gum and stuff and more water just keeps like spouting out. I'm like, that kind of feels like what it's almost doing, Again, it's great that people are getting $1,000 and everything like that. And we're not trying to take away from that. That is a step forward there. Yeah. But Elle, to your point, like taking steps back in terms of like, okay, well, the 1- and 2-star schools are already struggling. And how do you think they're going to do with less enrollment there? Like, it's not all of a sudden going to get better. So that is a tough one to wrap your head around.
Yeah. I do want to note too that if you are a parent listening right now and you are interested in applying for the transportation reimbursement, you have until September 4th to do that. David said, this is good for certain cases. There are people who do need this funding to get to school, but I think we're all, in agreement that there's more questions to be had of the long term of this, like what's going to happen to these 1- and 2-star schools.
Yeah. And I guess like in that point, maybe David, I'd love your thoughts on this because, it seems like competition oftentimes brings the best out of people. Do you think maybe the competition factor here of like, okay, the 1- and 2-star schools being like, hey, we got to step it up. Yes, funding might be an issue, but like we got to work with what we've got to kind of raise up to the level of these other schools. Like, do you think that maybe happens? Like the high tide raising all boats or whatever the saying is?
I think it ultimately comes down to funding and attention and priorities. And I don't know that any of the schools can pull themselves up by their bootstraps to become a competitive 3- or 4-star school without so many other factors being considered. But transportation is definitely one of them. So, good news, also same old news.
Mm-hmm.
No, definitely. This is going to be something to watch for sure. Like I'm very curious what the impacts will be, a year or 2 years from now. Again, Elle, as you said, it's a 1-year thing right now. We'll see if this continues going forward after this year. I'm very curious to see the impacts of these 1- and 2-star schools as the years go on. I think one thing, too, we have to note, like none of us do have kids. So this is kind of our take from the outside looking in on this. We'd love to hear from any parents out there who are listening to the show. Hit us up. Shoot us a text at 702-514-0719. Again, that's 702-514-0719. Put our number in your phone and text us and let us know your thoughts on school choice. I'd love to know what you think about the $1,000 assistance program. You think it's good? Are we taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back? Like, give us your thoughts on this from a parent's perspective, because I think that could be really valuable for us here on the show. All right, guys, it's time for another new segment here on CityCast Las Vegas. We've been testing out some new segments here and there. I'm really excited for this one. We're calling it Your Vegas Fixation. And essentially, we're looking for whatever Vegas-related thing, place, activity. I don't know, maybe it's like you're watching a series of movies set in Las Vegas, or you're trying to find like the best slice of pizza in Las Vegas. Whatever it is, something Vegas-related that you're just fixated on that you can't get over. Elle, we'll start with you. I'd love to know what your Vegas fixation is this week.
For sure. So my current Vegas fixation is one of my favorite shots that was introduced to me like 2-3 years ago, the green tea shot.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
One of the better shots. Like if you're taking a shot, that's like the less like, oh God, like, you know what I mean?
It's not going to slap you in the face. It's actually going to kind of cradle you and then, give you a little like peck on the cheek. But
it's a very thoughtful shot. Yeah.
It is. It's very mindful and I appreciate that. But I will say my Vegas fixation has to go to the green tea shot that came from Ola Abibi. And I have to give this venue a shout out because unfortunately, Ola Abibi is being shut down. Unfortunately, lost the war to gentrification.
Yeah.
But I do have to shout those owners out and they're incredible bartenders over there because they have incredible skills. And it was such an artist forward bar and location. And they did incredible work downtown in the Arts District. So I have to give them a shout out because last week I went down there to get, my last green tea shot just to toast the place goodbye, and it was incredible. So thank you, Ola Abibi, for all these incredible years and looking out for local artists like myself.
That's cool. Yeah, it's tough down in the Arts District at times. Obviously, like rising rents, things like that. Parking, I know, is top of mind for a lot of folks, a lot of business owners down there. The construction, another thing we've talked about a lot here on the podcast. So it's sad to see another one closing. Obviously, it's tough to hear, but man, shout out to them for the green tea shot, killing it there. Hopefully some of those bartenders go somewhere else and bring the green tea shot with them so you can go check that one out as well.
I hope so. Come find me. Come message me on Instagram, please.
Yeah, hit Elle up. David, I'm curious for you. What is your Vegas fixation? I knew one that you had a while ago, but I'm curious what this one is.
Well, my old one is still my same one. Like that never goes away. And I think you're referring, Jesse, to my fixation on books set in Las Vegas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or written by people who were based in Las Vegas at the time. And there's two really good ones that are out this summer. One is Close Relationships with Strangers by my friend Krista Diamond, which is a wonderful debut novel that's out on Simon & Schuster. I couldn't put it down. It's one of those books where it starts out in Las Vegas, and while specific places are kind of fictionalized, one of the fun things about living here is that you kind of know what might have inspired it. Like, I didn't confirm it, but it is kind of fun seeing the Vegas that in actual novels as opposed to when people try to recreate like a Vegas thing when they're definitely not from here. And no shade to Hacks, which I really enjoyed as a TV show, but Jesus Christ, they lived their entire life on the Strip, and that didn't resonate.
That's not what we do. What do you mean?
Live here. Yeah, there's another debut novel that came out. It's more of a romantic comedy. It's by a writer named Aaron Singer, who has come highly recommended to me by my friend and writer Claire Vaye Watkins, who has a blurb on the book. She also has a new novel coming out. That book's called Dangerland, and it is set in suburban Summerlin.
Wow. Okay.
And Dottie's is part of the plot. So
I would just Dangerland, the title alone, Dangerland and Summerlin, I wouldn't have put the two together. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I picked that up at my favorite local bookstore, Writer's Block, of course. And it is in my backpack, waiting for moments of downtime, which don't come all the time, but when they do, I'm going to have my nose in that one too.
Yeah, you are definitely a busy man about town, that's for sure. So anytime you can sneak in a good read, you definitely do it. I'm stoked that that's your fixation still, because I didn't want to spoil it. I wasn't sure if that's what you're doing
whenever
today.
You see me, Jesse, and you run into me all the time, I'm always carrying a Vegas-based book in my hand.
Always. I love it. Yeah, I think that's so cool. Like, that's something you and I were talking, like, that's something I think I'm going to have to get on soon here as well. Like you, I am a very busy man. I haven't had a ton of time to read reluctantly, other than like articles and things like that. So I'm hoping I can fit in like more reading of actual books, because I feel like my life gets so much better when I can actually take the time to read, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, and the other
Agreed.
fun thing I did, I started a Substack and like I'm
Oh,
doing
nice.
book reviews on there because it's just fun, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I want people to share and all my stuff is Vegas related. So I'm doing Vegas book reviews. No other, I'm not just picking random books. I'm not like,
That's cool.
reviewing the Da Vinci Code. I'm reviewing books and other stuff. Just that's all about Vegas. It's fun.
For the folks, because obviously, like, they've all listened to you on the pod for a long time. Some of them may not know your Substack. Go ahead and shout it out so they can go find it if they want to continue to follow you.
Oh,
there.
just search my name on Substack or my moniker, which has and will always be Oy Vegas, Oyvegas. I am fixated with my hometown, Jesse. I can't help it.
Nah, hey, I love it. Aren't we all? That's why we're all here talking today. Now we'll get into my fixation here, I guess, too. So it's actually kind of funny. A lot of people are surprised to find out that I like just started drinking coffee like 2 years ago. I was one of those cyclos that like didn't do it. And then I listened to an Andrew Huberman podcast where he talked about the benefits of caffeine and low doses. And me being a nerd was like, okay, I need to get on that and take advantage of this.
Low doses, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to miss a lot of people there. I literally measure out. I don't do more than 12 ounces a day. It's a problem. Anytime I have an extra cup of coffee, though, like I'm the worst person to be around because I'm literally so hyper. It's not even funny. But as of late, my girlfriend and I have been like running around town trying to make sure we hit up like every coffee shop. And I just am a guy that just drinks black iced coffee. You'll never catch me drinking hot coffee. I cannot do it. It gives me heartburn. So like even in the dead of winter, I'm doing iced coffee. If I'm up on a mountain, I'm doing iced coffee. In the summer, obviously iced coffee. So I'm trying to figure out who has like the best cold brew or just iced coffee. And so we've been jumping around, and one of the main contenders is Better Days right now, out near South Summerlin, I guess you could say. They're not using locally roasted beans, I will say that. I believe they're from Arizona. I think it's called Amigo or something like that. Theirs are pretty good, probably the smoothest, just like black cold brew, pretty legit. And Vesta, David, you know this. I'm always at Vesta, especially the one downtown. They're always a contender in the top three there. So those are my top two, I would say right now, though. Vesta, Better Days, and then who was the other one we just went to recently? Dark Moon. That's one that I hadn't been to.
Oh, yeah.
And Dark Moon's a big contender as well for a solid black coffee.
I'm going to just shoot one out at you really quick because you mentioned Dark Moon. People don't know this, but the beloved I don't want to call it a dive bar, the beloved drinking hole on Fremont Street, the Griffin, during the daytime has converted to a coffee shop, and they are sourcing their beans from Dark Moon. And I'm going to tell you, it's legit. Like, you're
check
in
them out.
the Griffin in the middle of the day, which is unsettling for a lot of reasons. But get your coffee on and tell them CityCast sent you.
Heck yeah. I'm adding that to the list. I hadn't been there just yet. Elle, do you have a spot around town? First of all, what's your drink, your go-to order when you're getting coffee? And second of all, like, hit us with like your top 1, 2, maybe even 3 if you're feeling crazy.
Yeah, I'm like you. I love a good iced coffee, but
Yeah.
I can't do black coffee. I need all the creamer and all the sugar.
You're loading it up.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
My go-to usually is just an iced caramel latte.
Okay.
But I will shout this one place out because you might like it because their beans I know are imported from Colombia. It's called I Wanna Coffee.
I Want a Coffee is another one that's a strong contender. They're probably number 3 for me.
Yes.
I love them. They crush it. Yeah.
Yes, their ube iced coffee they have, delicious. One of my favorite places. Oh my gosh, I cannot forget Finn Smith, which is kind of over in the Durango area. It's Vietnamese coffee, the way they brew it. But if you order their banana iced coffee, it is life-changing. They use banana milk in it. Oh my gosh. I start levitating every time I get a cup. It's that good.
Yeah. Last time I went there, the line was literally wrapped around the entire store all the way to where you would actually order. Like, it was insane. People were going crazy for it. Again, I'm like such a stickler with it. I just want just the black coffee, but that banana one, I was like, oh God, like I almost caved and got it. I'm not going to lie.
So good. You have to
but
go
I couldn't
back.
bring
You gotta
myself
go
to
back.
do it.
Elle and Jesse, have you ever been to Yaw Coffee? Speaking of
Yaw Farm,
remarkable
yeah.
lines. I went there over the weekend. There must have been 50 people in that little space waiting for their coffees, and they were cranking it out. And
Wow.
it's a bit of a hassle. It probably is the best coffee in like Las Vegas. To all my friends, I'm sorry, who I patronize all the time. But
I was gonna say, Vesta's gonna be there. You're not gonna be able to walk in there and get your regular anymore.
they
Sorry,
know.
man. You're barred.
But it's a different experience. It's
Yeah,
all to
no, it
go.
is,
You
it
can't sit there and stuff. But like they're constantly making like national best coffee lists, and right here down on Charleston and Antelope. So Yeah.
Ooh,
We
I
are
need to
blessed
check
with
that out.
coffee choices for sure, Jesse. I'm glad that's your
We
new
really are.
fixation.
True.
I think
True.
we're an underrated coffee city for sure. I think like slowly but surely we're getting the attention we deserve on that scene. But I love seeing new spots pop up around town and checking more of them off the list. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much. This is a lot of fun today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. It was fun.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our free morning newsletter as well. Also, too, like we said, hit us up, shoot us a text at 702-514-0719 and let us know what your latest Vegas fixation is. Maybe we'll feature you guys on the show in one of our segments as well. We're always trying to find the hottest thing around town, so if you've got a new Vegas fixation, let us know. Again, shoot us a text at 702-514-0719. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Until then, though, take care.